I'll get the membership because you can only record video for like 40 minutes for free. But if you buy the membership, then I think it's unlimited, and it's not that much. And I want to learn the program because I'm going to be using it anyways eventually for
Yeah.
my like coaching / course stuff.
Yeah. So
Um,
we're live.
yeah, cool.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Thank you for watching the video. The guys do audio are not going to hear this. This gets cut out. And also, Kelly, I was going to tell you we may have to stop
So,
you doing the reveille. As much as I like doing that after, it's getting copyright striked every time.
yeah.
So it blows because I really like it, but it's not worth,
Yeah.
that one little thing for that. So we're gonna have to cut that out, but we'll still do the pledge and all that good stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. And that works.
I think I'm still gonna move. Hold on. I'm gonna go turn the camera off of that phone so I don't have this goofy angle of myself. Hold on.
I can see your sexy belly. You turn the camera off, it's going to stop switching back and forth. Watch. So what's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good summer. Hope that one thing that we talk about in our meetings all the time, you've heard me say it before, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. And we are in like the last, third of the race here. At least if you're in the Midwest or you're out east where Gil is, summer's gonna start winding down here before long. If we're lucky, month and a half left. If you live down south, then you probably got plenty of summer left because I know our buddy Texas, he stays hot well into September. I mean, even October if you live down south. But if you live out where Gil's at, out east, or throughout the Midwest, we're at least 2/3 past, 2/3 through our summer.
Yeah, we're probably good with ours, but we're gonna get hot again. But this little hot streak we had was crazy. It was enough to generate a shitload of business. So
yeah,
and we're actually gonna talk about on this podcast is making the most of that. So I mean, most of us know that most HVAC companies, you're making predominantly a big portion. If I would say, I don't know, maybe 70%, 65% of the year's total income in that summer months. Can't be leaving that on the table. But
yeah, I'm gonna look at my chart here behind me, and the majority of, because you can see a pattern, we just record our total revenues for each month, year after year after year, and you start seeing a pattern, of what to expect each month. And in all honesty, I mean, out of the entire year, we probably have obviously May, June, July, August. If summer hangs on all the way through August, then that's 4 months of the year. And then we probably have, as far as seasons go, we probably have January, well, December sometimes, January. Honestly, those 2 months, that's like 6 months out of the year, right?
yeah.
There might be one more month thrown in there, maybe 7 months. That is like our go get it time,
Yeah, we here with winters, I mean, it's November's normally, but normally
Yeah.
December, January, February, and sometimes the beginning of March. Because I know sometimes my birthday is March 30th, and I've known sometimes necessarily not my birthday, but close to it has been in March. We actually had a few blizzards in March. December, like you said, December's kind of iffy because, I mean, hell, we've had Christmases where it's like 65 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like White Christmas my ass.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you could throw in, maybe another month combined where you have a few calls, but you're doing maintenances, tune-ups, memberships, whatever you call them, where it kind of starts steadying out a couple more months, so maybe 7 months, so maybe 9 months we can stay pretty darn busy, but there's always going to be those 3 months that are downtime for sure.
Yeah, those are the months that you're trying to just at least stay even and not lose.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
if you can stay in the green and the black with those numbers, then you're good. It's just when you start going down is when it's going to be the problem. But
let's get started. Yeah,
I was going to say let's do this. Stop talking so much, Kelly. Damn.
Yeah, shit.
All right, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
See, this is why you guys like the live stuff, because even though I've done this a million times, I just fuck those up. That one's not supposed to be played yet. I was thinking, like, hold on a second. That's not the right order. So let's take 2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey guys, want to start off as we always do. This podcast is brought to you by Yellow Jacket. Guys, Yellow Jacket, more than 70 years ago, Jack Ritchie set a goal for Ritchie Engineering to become the standard by which all other hoses are measured. In the last 7 decades, Yellow Jacket brand has not only become a standard in hoses, tools, refrigeration gauges, manifolds, HVAC vacuum pumps, and refrigerant recovery machines, it's become legendary. How have they done that? Through an unwavering commitment to excellence. It's the single most important attribute in the longevity of the company. While other companies sold out, sent work overseas, or lessened quality, the relentlessness commitment of their people has led to 70 years of best-in-class products, first-class customer service, and innovations that make the contractors' jobs easier. That's us, worldwide. So let's join them, Yellow Jacket, in the next 70 years as they commit to changing the standard once again. I'm going to share the screen for you real fast, people. I want you to take a look just here real fast, briefly, at some of their new products. Kelly, let me know when you see
Yeah,
anybody.
you're good.
All right. So one that I actually have sitting right here, I'll show you when the camera comes back to me. So all the people that have went out and purchased the P51, 860, and 870. They have a new adjustable temperature probe strap. That's pretty neat. I've just started using it, so I can't say too much about it, but it plugs in the back just like your temperature clamps do. This new YJ2 vacuum pump 5 CFM. I've been using this thing for the price. All you younger guys out there, you're trying to get tools, don't have a bunch of money to spend. This thing's badass. I've used it a couple of times and I've been pretty happy with it. The Omni digital vacuum gauge, awesome. I've heard nothing but good things about it. A lot of people don't realize that, you hear about all these other brands hoses. Well, Yellow Jacket actually makes their max flow evacuation hose kit, the different manifolds. Here's the P51 860. You got the P51, the Big Daddy down here, the P51 870, and then these little digital gauges. So, guys, definitely go ahead and check Yellow Jacket out at www.yellowjacket.com or go to your local supply house and let's show Yellow Jacket some love. They've been a beast in this industry for, you just heard me, for 70 years. So let's go show them some love, and then take a picture of your stuff on whatever social media platform you're doing, and just tag Yellow Jacket. Just say, hey, I hear about you guys on HVAC Uncensored podcast. I just want to let you know that I bought this, bought that, stuff like that. But yeah, so guys, remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. All right, and then real fast, another sponsor we're going to talk about tonight is those boxes behind me. Live Bearded. To all my bearded brothers out there, guys, we can't be walking around with our beard feeling like a ball sack. You know, your hair is just, it's hard, it's itchy. You know, when you're all like, you're at work and you're itching. Okay, that's especially if you have a substantial beard. You need to get something on that skin underneath, because it can't produce enough of it as your hair starts to grow. So Live Bearded offers a awesome beard wash. A beard wash. You know, a beard oil that's good for that itching, and then a beard balm conditioner. It's called beard butter, which just makes it feel nice and soft. So guys, go to livebearded.com. When you check out, the discount code, put in HVAC Uncensored, and you will receive 10% off your order. And then some of that also comes back to the podcast. Another thing real fast I'm going to do. Sorry, that was kind of loud. This is not a sponsor, but I want to give a shout out to this. And James, I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher your last name. His name is James. I think it's Ullus, ELLULS Jr. James Ullus. I'm sorry, James, if I'm butchering your name, buddy. But he sent this out to me. You're probably backwards. It is Better Air. This is called the Biotica, I think.
Biotica.
Is that what it is? Biotica?
Biotica.
Okay. I knew that. Shut up, Kelley.
Yeah.
The Biotica 800. This is supposed to be like real deal, like cleaning the air. So I'm going to test this. He sent this to me. We're going to have James on the podcast in a couple of weeks to talk about this and, you know, just talk to him in general. But he sent this out to me to test it. And Kelley, what I might do is once I use it for a little bit, I might see if he'll send me another cartridge of the juice that goes in these things, and then send it out to you and let you try it and see what you think. So that way we got both of our opinion. But yeah, guys, this is I think it's betterair.com. If you just look for this.
No, it's reading right. You know, it's right.
Okay, maybe I'm just seeing it. Yeah, look for this online. I think it's just betterair.com, or if you search it and see this logo. Guys, IAQ, man, is one of the biggest markets that people are missing out on. You get good products like this from what I hear, and these things will sell themselves. So people want clean air. They just don't know about it. Sometimes that's our job to bring it up, but that's enough with those.
I was going to say some people want clean fingernails, but I'm not going to give you too much shit because I know you're out there busting your ass. So yeah,
here's my fingernail clippers right here, you dick.
So I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the USA. We love this great state that we live in. I mean, country that we live in. I love my state too. But I also want to say thank you to our global listeners. When I look at the map, I see that we're, you know, India, China, the UK, Canada. So thank all of you for listening. We really, really appreciate you guys. Like we always say, this podcast would be nothing without you guys. And me and Kelley can never, ever show how grateful we are for you guys for downloading the podcast. I'm playing anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended, because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Kelley and Kelly McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
HVAC Uncensored Nation, how the hell are you guys feeling tonight? This is episode 52, tribute to my man Ray Lewis, right back here, back there. Best linebacker to ever play the game. Okay, you can debate me, I'll fucking crush you. But anyway, welcome back to the podcast, buddy. Everybody. Episode 52, sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelly McKay. What's up, homie?
Not much. Just we always talk to everybody about, the summer. When it comes to the summer, one thing that we always say is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we have to pace ourselves, and we're like we've had a few.
Sorry, I was just trying to get the camera to switch. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We've had a few. Everyone's getting tired. So that's kind of been an issue a little bit. And a lot of times I think when people get tired, they start feeling unappreciated. And I know I'm guilty. I did it when I was in the field. And I know that, I don't know. Bottom line is we're on our last leg. So it's just keep yourself healthy. You're working extra hours. You need extra sleep. You're sweating extra. You need more hydration. All these things. You just got to take care of yourself so we can come crush the last month of the summer. Typically the last month of the summer. Not that we might not have a couple of warm months in September. We'll see. But doesn't always it's not guaranteed. It's definitely not guaranteed.
No, well, that's the way it happens. I mean, we're either balls to the wall or we're doing dick. So, I mean, I know a lot of commercial companies are different as far as how they work. Like we talked to Nick Guerrero a little while ago, and I know Nick works. He has pretty much routine hours that he works all year long, and a lot of that's going to play in the location of where you live, your geography. But most residential companies, at least definitely smaller ones around me, you got your summer and you got the heart of the winter, and those in between spring and fall, that's PM time. And you got to pray to God that those PMs are going to last you until the next season picks up. But let's be honest, guys, that doesn't always happen. So it's going to be in the summertime. Like Kelly said, you're going to be, man, I'm burnt out. I'm working all these hours, man. Like it's just getting to be too much. But you gotta remember, in a couple of months, you're going to be like, fuck, I need hours, man. Like I can't not work. So, and I won't go into it because me and Kelly have talked about this till we're blue in the faces. Guys, you got to be disciplined, mentally, physically, as far as keeping yourself in shape, staying hydrated, as far as your finances, in the summertime, put that money away, bank that shit, man. Especially if you know what's coming in that next season. That's not going to be a bunch of work. You're not going to be getting those big old giant checks or commission checks or whatever, however it is that your company pays you.
Right. So, and also keep in mind, with the tiredness comes it's you're far more likely to get frustrated a lot faster when you're tired. And when you get frustrated, sometimes you might offend the guy you're working with, your coworker. So just don't take it personal, guys, right now. Just know that your buddy's tired, your coworker's tired. Don't take it personal. If you're going through anything, I'm sure there's a portion of you right now that have been short with your coworkers or your management team, or vice versa. Management team's getting short with you for some reason. And it's just the season. You got to stand tall. If you're going to let something like that knock you sideways and be pissed off for 2 weeks, like, you're probably, just don't let that knock you sideways and be pissed off. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And life is too short, man. Don't just be happy, So
yeah, you roll with the trenches. And if you're new guys, if you're new to the field, I mean, you haven't learned, you're kind of in the trenches right now. You haven't learned how it's going to go. You don't have that experience. But I mean, listen to some of these senior guys, man. They're going to tell you. And if you're new, just keep rolling with the punches. You're going to learn as you go with time. You're going to see how this works. You're going to make mistakes like we all did as far as, blowing these big checks in the summertime and then eating fucking ramen noodles when, fall comes. But you'll learn. It happens to everybody. But even more so, I'm going to touch base on what Kelly just said as far as people getting tired and stuff like that. Also, when you're at work, you're going to make mistakes because you have that mentality that you're burnt out. Maybe I don't need to check that, or whatever. Let's not offer what we normally offer on this one. I'm just trying to get it done so I can go home. For you guys that work at commission-based companies, I know you're probably not doing that because it's coming out of your pocket, because that's the only way you get paid. If you work for an hourly company like our companies are, I had guys that they were showing up and they were just getting their 8 hours, but so I guess we'll just break into the topic that we're going to bring up for tonight. It's going to be leaving money on the table. And this is going to be for small business owners. It's going to be for technicians, a little bit for everybody. But
yeah, and we kind of got started talking about this before we even started recording tonight. And Gil was telling me that you don't mind if I just say what? Yeah. So he was telling me they've been going back through their invoices and just really dissecting them and finding out what's going on out there. Where's, are options being offered? Are they charging the right price? Are they, if there's something that needed to be followed up on, did it get followed up on? Like maybe you gave a price right there in one of the option sheets, like a new evaporator coil, and nobody ever called Mrs. Smith back to find out if she really wanted to do it. Maybe after she had a little bit of time to think about it. So, but that's what we've been doing too. It's funny that he said that because we went back through June. We had 244 invoices in June. We're going to have over 250 invoices in July. And just going back through there, it's a real eye opener. So if that's something you have not done as an owner or manager to find out what's really happening out there, I highly suggest it, because you're going to find things, you're going to find a lot of money that is just sitting on the table that we're not offering and we're not collecting.
Yeah, and being, a manager, an owner, a leader, a leader of men, so to speak, is you should be experienced that that those guys are going through those tough times in the summer, whether you do something small just to, show your appreciation, just to try to lift them up, can't think of the word, morale. There we go. To keep the morale up. Because it does happen when these guys are getting slammed. Just show your appreciation, because what happens is these guys start turning the robots. They come in, they want to do their 8 hours or whatever, how many hours it is, and go home. And they're not doing the procedure and the processes that me and Kelly always talk about. There's processes for everything. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you stick to a set standard of process, it's amazing how that will work out for you. And we have processes that we know will work. My owner's done it. I've done it. And I'm going to sit here and say that I haven't even been perfect. So I'm not going to sit here. There's been days that I've been tired and I haven't done it. And so I'm guilty.
Yeah. But everyone is. It's so not trying to beat anybody up here. Just a pep talk, I guess, that we got to do these things, because it's really is the difference between real success and, not much, very little success, or a ton of success. It is the difference.
Well, and like I told you, and looking at our tickets, I mean, it's probably close to almost like $100,000, give or take, because you don't never know how that call could have went.
Right.
But just seeing the things that were offered, I know that there was not a thorough job. Like we always tell our guys, service contracts, service agreements, maintenance, contracts, whatever you guys call them, we all know they're the same thing. If someone doesn't have one, then you need to offer it. Okay. And maybe everyone's not going to do it, but if you offer it 10 out of 10 customers and you get 5, okay. So I'll even go down and say 3. But if you offer it,
you miss every shot you don't take. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. You're going to better your closing chances if you offer it every time. You can't pick and choose when you want to do it and then wonder why you're not selling them. Guys, I won't keep going into it, but me and Kelly have talked about it. Service contracts are the lifeblood of the company. That's what builds value. That's how someone's going to base the value of your company, because that is your loyal customer base that if something goes wrong, they're going to call you because they have that service contract. And if you're in a place like where I am and you have those slow seasons, that's what's going to keep you work. That's how you're going to get your 40 in the slow time, doing these PMs. You know, you don't have them PMs and you're the low guy on the totem pole. Guess what, buddy? Your ass is going home. So you got to think about that stuff. When we're out here in the summertime, we're all tired. We can't change what we do. And I know it's hard, but we can't use that as an excuse as I can't do a thorough job because I'm tired. I can't do this because I'm tired. It just can't be.
You have far more opportunities during the summer too. And that's it's like a double-edged sword, man. I mean, we got all these extra opportunities to go, you know, sell maintenance agreements and get real customers because, guys, honestly, I mean, just because you're busy during the summer, we get a few calls. That customer, after you fix everything on the system and you clean it all up for them and you walk away with $600 or whatever it is you charge for whatever repair you did, they are not a customer yet, or they're not a client yet, I should say. They're just a customer. You may not hear from those people for two years.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the importance of the maintenance agreement, of selling that, because then they're a member. They're in, you know, they've joined your club.
You've guaranteed they're going to call you back when something happens.
Absolutely. Because if you've explained the benefits of it, they're getting some discounts, they're getting priority service, they're getting, you know, reduced diagnostic fees, reduced after hours fees, all these things that they get, whatever yours offers. Like if they truly see the value because you've explained the value, then it's a no-brainer for anybody. Everyone should own a maintenance agreement. It's like just getting the oil changed in your car, you know, every 3 or 5,000 miles, whatever it says it needs to be changed at. You know, you wouldn't just drive your car all year long with never changing the oil.
Unless you're my wife.
Right. Or some of our service techs, that's for sure.
Gaslight.
You're not guilty of that in your truck, are you? You take care of it. You got a new van.
Oh yeah, I take my baby, man. I
better take care of that shit, you know.
Yeah, and I'm OCD, man, and I'm gonna have a video that I just shot that's coming up. And shit, real fast, since I'm gonna say that, I don't know what happened. My GoPro, I had to buy another memory card. Something happened to the memory card, and it like lost. I had like 3 videos that I shot because I've been trying to put stuff on the YouTube channel, and it said like corrupted files, and I don't know what happened, so I lost all that footage. It blows. I finally do shit and I can't use it.
I was gonna say, well, YouTube's not gonna let you upload corrupted files, Gil.
I got some good codes.
So if your pants are off in those videos, it's like, no thanks. It's corrupted.
Oh, it's corrupted, all right, my friend.
You're right.
But shit, I forgot what I was gonna say there now. Oh, so as a business owner, a manager, someone should be going over your invoices, whether they're paper, they're electronically, whatever. Someone needs to be checking these things. So if you start to see some of these signs, you can nip it in the butt real fast, because you don't want to wait till the end of summer and you're like, oh fuck, we lost all this money. It's kind of too late now. I mean,
and that's what happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can address it and say something, but by next summer, I not remember that talk. So you want to try to, in real time, nip that kind of stuff on the butt. Like now we're actually going over them on a daily basis. So that way as they come in, now our guys have to take a picture of this sheet that we want filled out on every call. So that way we know we're being thorough. We're checking all the stuff we have to check. And then the back of their invoice, we want to see what they're going to offer. And then they call in to me or the owner and go over what they're going to offer, and we'll make changes based on what they say they saw, based off of how they filled that sheet out. And then we have them act like we're the customer. Say, okay, how are you going to present this to the customer? Guys, when you present things to the customer, you got to be very careful on the words you choose to say. You can't have, I don't know what to call those words, but they're the gray area, the ones that the customer can take as an out. So, hey, Mrs. Johnson, this is what not to do. Hey, Mrs. Johnson, I found out that your capacitor's bad. I would like to add a start assist. You're low on refrigerant. So because of that, I would like to add sealant or do a leak search, whatever your company does. And if all that's okay, it's going to be such and such amount of money. You've just given her too many outs. You would like to do it. In her mind, it's like, okay, well, he wants to do it, but he didn't say I have to do it. So she's automatically deducting that off the price. And it's fine because they're going to say no to things. But you go in there and you say that, hey, Mrs. Jones, need to replace your capacitor. We need to add 2 pounds of refrigerant. We'd like to address the leak so you're just not blowing money. So we can either put a sealant in or we can do a leak search. Want to add a start assist and then get you on our service agreement program. To do that's going to be $1,000. Is it okay to go ahead and do it? Just be blunt, short with it. Don't sit there and talk to all the technical jargon. They don't fucking care. If they do, they'll ask. And if they ask, then explain it to them. But if they don't ask, shut your mouth. And sometimes it's just like that. We cannot try to close these things out thinking like we're using our checkbook. That's what happens. Too many guys, when they do any kind of sales, system, service calls, they start saying no for the customer. That's not your job. Your job is to present what needs to be done there. Our job every time we touch a system is to try to make that thing as close to the day it came off the manufacturing floor as possible. Sometimes it's not, but that's what we're trying to do. And
what is it going to take to get it back up to those standards?
Yeah, cleaning the coils, cleaning the blower wheel.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying be dishonest. If you go somewhere and it's clean, then it's clean. But maybe that's the time you start to add in like a surge protector. You bring up IAQ. It's an opportunity. And guys are like, well, they're not going to spend that kind of money, or they don't need that. How do you know? Just present it. For all you know, it might say, man, I want to get that, whole house humidifier, or man, I want to buy that UV light.
I always use that car analogy. It's like if I went and bought a car and it's pretty badass and, but it doesn't have power windows or a sunroof or a badass stereo or the cool rims, and you go buy the same exact car and your car has all that shit. Well, if the salesman didn't tell me about this cool shit that I could have had with my car if I would have upgraded, like, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I thought my car was pretty cool, but then Gil came up with all this extra cool shit with a badass stereo. And I'm like, dude, I want that. But nobody ever told me about it. So if nobody tells me about it, how am I going to know if I want it or not? It's my decision.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, many times. I like, Joe Crisera talks about this. I've seen this on some free training that he shared. He's always so willing to share some of his free training. I always watch it. I absorb all that stuff. Anytime somebody's giving away some free information, I take it. And it's shocking how much stuff that I've collected through the years, just doing that. But one thing that he says is when you're giving your top option, he always calls it, and this is totally Joe Crisera. You want to learn more from him? What is his website? I cannot think of it. I'm sorry, Joe.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay. So you always call it premium, mid-range, and economy. That's how he doesn't use the terms good, better, best. He uses premium, mid-range, and economy. That's how you talk to him. But on your premium option, he goes one step further and he says you ought to personalize that premium option. And how you do that would be, Gil, I have this top option here. It's our premium option. I call it Gil stays cool and gets a good night's sleep option. And the reason I built that option for you is because I know you had a rough night because you were hot in here last night, and I want to make sure you stay cool and that you have that peace of mind. So here's everything it includes. So I just made it super personal with Gil by saying why I built this option for him. I built this option because, you expressed how when you don't get a good night's sleep, you're tired at work, and then you underperform at work, and you're short fused, and you start to pick fights with your spouse or whatever the conversation you had. Through rapport building,
God damn
with the customer. Yeah. So just personalize that first option. You don't have to do it on all of them, but this is straight from Joker Sarah, and I've not personally done it because I'm just not in the field anymore, but I just don't see how it couldn't work.
Well,
how it wouldn't work,
It does. How do you spell his last name? Is it Cassara?
Crisera, I think.
Hold on real sec. Okay, do it again. See what?
Crisera, probably. I think it's in with an S.
I think.
What is his website called? I can.
Contractorselling.com.
Yeah, contractorselling.com. If you're interested in learning more from Joe, we need to get him on the podcast. I know he'd be happy to join. We just need to set something up with him, or I hope he would be willing to come on with us. I just put it that way. Yeah. But he's always so willing. He always says all roads lead back to Uncle Joe, because he's the one who started a lot of the sales process, so, and he's been just some of the results he's got for people is just really hard to believe. It's so good. And I don't know why I haven't gotten his training yet. It's just because I only found him, honestly, 8 months ago. I may have found him. I had never heard of him before. So
you shared some of his stuff, his videos with me.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's one more tool to use when you go in to present the options, is to personalize that top option, at least that top option. Gil, I did this because you said you were struggling with allergies, or little Susie has allergies, and I know how much you love little Susie, just like I love my little girl. And so I know you want her to breathe clean air. So that's why I built this package for you. It's an indoor air quality package, and it includes this and this and this, and it would be, $45 a month. Is that something you might be interested in? I just said might. I probably shouldn't do that. But is that something you'd be interested in moving forward with? It's just personalized. Yeah, and I just love that. And that would blow my fucking mind if somebody came into my house, evaluated, listened to my problems, and then presented it to me that way. It would blow my fucking mind. I would be like, holy shit, dude, you're good. Just give it to me, You've
never noticed that customers have issues, and they know they have a problem, and they think it's the way it's got to be. There's no answer for it. Like if somebody has a really damp basement, and they're like, well, we've done everything and we just can't get rid of this humidity. That's what they think in their mind. And all of a sudden you say, hey ma'am, I got the system. It's up and running. We did this, blah, blah, blah. But I was going to say, I want to add a whole house dehumidifier in this house, because I noticed it's really, really humid in here. Have you guys had that problem? And she's like, oh, yes. We didn't know that there was anything out there to take care of that. We don't even go in the basement because it's so bad. Now, all of a sudden, she's happy because you just gave her an answer to fix a problem that she thought was just going to be there forever. So, guys, don't think with your checkbook. And, we always say people think, and people call us the sales podcast, whatever. It's not a dirty word, man. We do it every day. And guys, they do a disservice when they don't offer things that customers need. Every time you go into a customer's house, that's an opportunity. We only get so many. Obviously, we want to make them happy. We want them to be a repeat customer with a service contract, service agreement, etc. But we also want to make sure that we're doing the right job. And maybe you offer that whole home dehumidifier and they say no that first time. But how do you know? Maybe you come back and they say, hey, Gil, I remember the one time you said something about that thing that could help dehumidify the house. Oh, yeah, that's I'm just saying, April Air dehumidifier unit that we gave you a price for. That's such and such amount of money. Yeah, well, we didn't have it back then, but I think we want to do that. Can we still do that? Of course you can, man. Let's take care of that. So just plant the seed. Sometimes you're planting the seed for a sale down the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're saying be honest. We're not saying go out there and sell shit they don't need. So please, let's say that first and foremost. But no home is perfect. I don't care what system they have. None of them are perfect. All of them are going to have a ductwork flaw, need cleaner air, need some safety switches and stuff like that. And do they have to have them? No, that's why they're called accessories. But who wouldn't want them? And it's not our job to decide if they don't need it. We offer it and then they tell us what they want. So it's just leaving too much money on the table, and it's honest money. I don't care what anybody says. All we're doing is offering the products as we're supposed to be the expert. But the other thing that me and Kelly had talked about is for technicians and for managers, business owners, is tracking the average ticket of your employees. Okay. So you go over those tickets to make sure there wasn't anything left on the table, but you're also looking to what that average invoice is. Guys, you should be at minimum $500. And $500 is not hard. It's really, really not. Honestly, you should be like $700-800 because you're going to get some of those, whatever your service fee is, your diagnostic, whether it's $99, $50, $150, whatever. You're going to get some of those. There's nothing you can do about it. But you're also going to get some of those $2,000, $1,500, and $700-800 is not hard to meet. And our guys just proved it with a talk that we had. And then after that, all of a sudden, everybody's averages shot up. If your company is not tracking that, they should be. We present it out. So it's like a contest. Everybody can see. You can see what somebody else is doing, where it has how many service contracts they sold for that month the prior year, what their sales total was as far as equipment sales, and then also how much they did in service. And then we have a goal based on that number versus what we think they should do this year. And then they get bonuses, they get perks if they meet those, meet those numbers. So when we all have that competitive nature. So obviously when you do it, go ahead, Kelly, talk so they can see your.
Oh, I'm just saying this is kind of what it could look like. It's just a spreadsheet. And then you would take those numbers and then post them up, like Gil said, so everybody can see them. Or we have technician KPIs, one whole sheet that's just for their KPIs with their goal versus where they're at. And then we color them. If it's green, it's good. If it's yellow, it's caution. If it's red, it needs to be improved. But this has been really valuable. Just every time, if Gil goes out to a call and it turns into a bid, a quote, like whether and let's say whether they make a decision right there or not, if he can't get them to make a decision and maybe their equipment still runs, whatever the case, anytime you give a quote, that needs to be recorded so we can follow up with it later to see if they've made a decision or see if they got that money they were talking about or see if they went ahead and applied for financing. Like we need to know this so we can follow up on it. And this, it's really interesting looking back because we've been doing this for several years, and we can look and see like from June. I want to say June, we did like maybe 32 bids last year, or it could have even been July. We did 32 bids. Some of those were like technician leads, if you want to call them that, even though the technician is a selling tech and he's actually quoting something right there on the spot. Or they're just customers that called in and said, I want an estimate for a new system, whatever. We had like 32. Well, this year we're like at 38, actually 39. We're actually like probably at 42 or something like that. So because we've had two more that sold this afternoon that were just calls that turned into an equipment sale of some kind. So knowing like next year, going into July, I can have an understanding of what to expect. Like how many bids should we get as long as I think about the weather. And I ought to be going an extra step and putting the temperature of each day on here. So then I can really gauge 1 year to the next. But it's all about just comparing. You got to start tracking some data. If you're not, because it's extremely valuable information to be able to prepare for next year and know what to expect going into each month.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're a bigger company or if you're a one-man band. or 2-3 trucks, something like that. You want to know that information. And I know you technicians are out there like, I just go do my calls. What the fuck do I got to know this for? If your company does not post them, or maybe they do it and don't tell you guys, track it yourself. Track it yourself. Write down the totals of all your tickets on a pad and keep them for a week and then a month, and then divide them by the number of calls and figure out your average ticket. And I guarantee when you go in for like review time and you go in there and, hey, you want to ask for such and such more money, and you're going back and forth, and all of a sudden you go, well, I know that when we were in, June, I had, a $1,200 average invoice and I sold, $25,000 worth of equipment. And then in July, I picked it up and my average ticket was $1,400 and I sold like $60,000 worth of equipment. And if you say that to the boss is going to be like, well, damn, this motherfucker's got his shit together. Like, and even if he goes back and checks, it's going to be the same thing that you said. So guys, check that stuff, man. It's good for you. You want that. I mean,
if it's not being tracked for you, track it for yourself.
Yes,
absolutely.
For sure. And you go in there and do that, but your company should be doing it. If they're not, then I question the company you work for.
Well, it could be a smaller company and the owner's just out in the field, hustling, and he just may not be to that point. Well, if you're that busy, I hope you're charging enough to start making changes. Like, you need somebody, if it's not going to be you in the office, you need somebody in the office tracking that stuff. It's that important.
Yeah, guys, when it comes to business and stuff like that, every cent, every minute needs to be accounted for. That's how you keep track of things. That's how you grow. That's how you know what to do, what not to do, tweak this, tweak that, don't do this. That's how they figure it out, by being able to keep track of those different things.
You would think that with this business, I mean, it seems pretty easy, right? I mean, if you really just elementary style think of it this way, is like, okay, well, we have a phone number. People call that phone number. We answer the phone. We book a call. We go run the call and collect some money, right? I mean, it seems simple, but it is not simple at all. There is so much to track. There is so much more that I will be tracking by this time next year that I'm not tracking right now. So if you're not tracking any of this stuff, you got to get started. But it's one of those things that it is hard to get started. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's really hard to get started, but you got to start somewhere, and you need to start now. That way you'll have some data come next year to start judging off of and budgeting off of and making improvements too. Just like Gil said, when you see what happens is we fall into a pattern. We get tired. Okay, now option sheets drop off, or we're not building good options for the customers. We're building 3 options and the top one is $300 and the bottom one's, $89. It's like, come on. There's no way this house doesn't need more than this. You've got to really take the blinders off, look around. Of course, said that 1,000 times, but until you start doing it, once you start doing it, we'll stop talking about it. But when we're busy, that shit seems to fall off, and that is the time to go make as much money as you can on those calls. And I totally get it. We're running late, working late nights, working your tails off, feeling underappreciated because of all the hard work. It's a natural human instinct, I believe. But it's temporary.
Yeah.
It's temporary.
Well,
so things will return back to normal before long. So just go make the most out of it every day.
And it also ties into what we talked about last week, the biggest HVAC callbacks. And it's the same mindset as what causes those. Is the same thing that we're doing here. We're cutting corners because we're tired and stuff like that. And we can't. I mean, this is our time to shine, man. This is the Super Bowl. We're going through the playoffs, and we need to close that shit out. I mean, that's what it is, guys. This is the time we make all of our money, and we cannot be leaving money on the table. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah, I see it in our company. May and June were big. Were pretty darn big months. May we broke a record, for the best month we've ever had, and June was not that far behind there. And here we are at the end of July, like everyone's tired. So, and I know you guys out there, if you've had a decent summer, I know you're tired too, and gals, So that's why I wanted to. That's why we wanted to talk a little bit about this subject, because I see it in the post in the group. I see it in the post in other groups of people feeling, it's like funny memes talking about how, the dispatcher saying just one more, or whatever. And like, I get it. You're tired and you're like, fuck you. I don't want one more, but
Yeah.
you got to go make it while it's there. It's temporary.
Yeah.
It'll all be over before you know it, and then we'll be back to normal. And hopefully you came out of the summer ahead and you've got some money stashed away, or you saved some money up for something that you've been wanting to purchase, so you can get what you get what you actually been working for.
Yeah. Or if you're that technician who had a $1,500 an invoice average, and then all of a sudden you get a new van, that's how that kind of stuff happens. That's how owners buy new vans with the profits. You have parties, and like with us, fishing trips.
If it's killer, you could get a $2 or $3 or $4 or $5,000 bonus at the end of the year.
Yep.
I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it for everybody. It's worth it for the guy that's sweating his nuts off right next to you, busting his ass, trying to get that install done with you, or working to get that unit clean so we can get done with Mrs. Jones and move on to Mrs. Smith. It raises everybody. It's good for everybody. We're not just sitting in the office. It's not fun going through invoices, is it, Gil?
No, it's not.
It is tedious, exhausting work.
Yeah, because after that, then it's all the parts house list and making sure these parts go with this ticket and go there. And I take frequent.
You're right.
What? Yeah, I'm going to lunch.
I listened to calls this week, about 3 days this week, because we're recording on Thursday. We're normally record on Wednesdays, but Gil and I were busy yesterday, so we moved it back a night. Well, the last, let's see, I think Thursday, Friday of last week, Monday, Tuesday of this week, 4 days, I've been listening to calls. Like at least half the day I was listening to calls. That is like nails on a chalkboard, because there's so much improvement we need when we answer the phones. It's oh my God. If that's another thing, if you don't have the capability to listen to your calls, or if you're doing marketing through a particular company that may have a dashboard, you go and listen to those, get in there and listen to those, and then start coaching and helping and training so you can get better. And whoever you have answering the phones, they might be pretty good right now, but it's the 1%,
Yeah.
If we can get 1% better, 1% better, 1% better, it adds up over time.
Yeah. So we're almost at an hour, and we didn't think it was going to last this long. And like Kelley said, I know some of these are topics that we've covered, maybe not as in depth, I don't think, but it's because it's feedback that we're getting from people. That's why we're saying this. So we just want, maybe if you guys hear it enough, it'll actually work, and it'll kind of get beaten into your heads. It's just for you small business owners, how valuable this information is, and how some little mistakes can just throw a huge monkey wrench into the profits. The biggest time of the year that we have to be in the green, we have to be making profit. We have to be profitable, because this is going to make up for the slow time and the times that we're not going to have a bunch of money coming in. And for the technicians, I mean, this is the game time. Like I said, this is when you're showing you what you could do, and you're you're building that faith that your manager, your owner has in you, that, when game time happens, they know they can count on you to go out there and fucking kill it, and, not be the guy bitching about everything. So
I'll say one more thing. If you're not analyzing your invoices, because what that does is it's going to open up, you'll really understand, like, how many callbacks are we actually getting, and it's going to blow your mind, unless you just have the perfect crew that just, kicks ass and does a thorough job every single time. Some callbacks are inevitable. They're always going to happen, but they tend to ramp up as the guys get tired and as the call volume goes up. Because just like Gil said, it's like, should I do this? Nah, I got 3 more calls. I'm not going to worry about that. They're fine. And so wind up getting a callback for it. And we talked about callbacks in the last episode. If you've not listened to that episode, go listen to that and nip that shit in the butt right now, or in the butt, or however you say it. Chop it off chop the snake off at the head or whatever. Get it taken care of. We went back and looked back at callbacks we've had in July, and I'm embarrassed to even say how many callbacks we had. And I would have never have known if we weren't dissecting invoices. I would have never have known.
Yeah, that's just, it's different when you look at it and it's right there in black and white running in front of you. The numbers don't lie. Okay, so when you have those, and if they're being tracked correctly, those numbers don't lie. And sometimes you got to face the facts that, damn, maybe we're not doing as good as I thought we were doing, or we really, really suck at this part of the, so it's something you guys definitely got to keep track on. And I hope you guys take this and, you learn from it and it helps you. I really do. That's why we do this. And like we say every week, if you guys have topics that you would like me and Kelly to talk about, email us, hvacuncensored@gmail.com. We'd be happy to, talk about it the best that we can. If it's not one of our specialties, we'll try to find a guest to bring them in to talk about it. So just let us know what you guys want to hear. Speaking of that, we do have some really, really good guests coming up that are getting booked. Some are a little ways out, but we have a few that aren't booked yet, but we know that they're coming up. So we have a guest next week that we'll release that later on, and another really, really good one coming up next month. So, but yeah, we're over an hour. Let's close this out there, Kel.
And we'll see about getting Joker Sarah on here too. And I know you have a couple people too to bring on. So guys, thanks so much for listening. Thanks for your support, your love, your posts, in the Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, get in there and join. Be sure to answer the damn questions, because I'm like, I'm not going to let you in if you don't answer any of the questions, and you don't have an HVAC business in your occupation. If you don't have any of those things, you're not getting in, because we just have too many homeowners creeping past there. So if you are in the industry, or you do something that helps the industry, or the group is not a platform for you to post a bunch of crap to try to sell your marketing services or whatever it is. There's far too many of those people. Not in our group, but I see them in other groups. So I think I think the admin and Gil's done a good job of keeping that from happening too much. But
yeah,
am I just nothing?
It's ad based. If you're gonna do that, then we need to know about it. Plus, another thing I was gonna say is, these guys are ruthless in the group, and if you're a homeowner, I feel sorry for you, because these guys are
no shit.
Man. So they slip through. I'll let them take their beating for a little bit before I delete them, because these guys destroy them. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So good job. Find them and stick it to them if you find them in the group. So, but anyhow, just thank you guys. Please share, subscribe. Please leave us a review. I know Gil just found out, he was a guest on another podcast and just found out that we were like one of the number one or the number one on Stitcher, or is that right?
Yeah, apparently we're the number one HVAC podcast on Stitcher.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of them, when you search us, we're always at the top of the list. And I don't know if that means anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. But when somebody else told me that, I was like, well, that's awesome. Like, no, I didn't know. But I mean, I know the downloads have went up, which is awesome, but I don't know what other people do. So it's not like I can say that with any kind of, factual evidence. So normally I don't. Obviously, me and Kelly we think we're the best. I mean, if we didn't think that, then, that's no confidence in ourselves. But
I think we put together a pretty good show every week. Honestly, I mean, I know that between the two of us, we got a lot of damn experience, and there's hardly a situation that we haven't been in when it comes to light commercial and residential, anything HVAC. So. And we want to share that with everybody. And so, if I hope that we've helped somebody throughout this, and some of the feedback we get once in a while, man, we love hearing from you guys. So don't be bashful or shy. Send us an email. It's hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Super easy to remember. Send us an email. Tell us what you'd like to see more of or less of, or what you feel like you need more help in, or maybe how we've helped you. And we'd be happy to share it on the podcast too. So, but we can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support. And man, I can't believe 52 episodes. So it's been good. And I look forward to the future. I know that a lot of people are just now finding us. So it's brand new to them. They got a lot of episodes to go back and listen to, and that's awesome. So
yeah, it's funny you say that, because when I go into the hosting website and look at the downloads, I go back and look at the beginning, and like a lot of those beginning podcasts, like the downloads
they're growing.
Yeah, they start to grow because people are going back. So that's a good sign. And yeah, we really, really do appreciate that. And by the end of this week, me and Kelly will actually talk when we get done recording this, that we are going to determine a giveaway date, that we are going to do a giveaway that's going to kind of be, we finally hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is big because I've only put a handful of videos out. So that means a lot to me. The fact that we're almost at 20,000 in the Facebook group, and the fact that it was our 1 year anniversary of the podcast. So we want to do a giveaway for that. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So me and Kelly are going to lock in a date, and then I will post that on all of our social media platforms so that everybody can know about it. And if I have to make a short little video for the people that only use YouTube, well, it'll be on YouTube anyway, because I'll go on YouTube and I'll actually make a video telling you how to enter the giveaway in the first place. So you guys on YouTube will find out. But
I'll close it out real quick on my end, but just want to thank Yellow Jacket for being a great sponsor. Appreciate everything they do for us. And what an honor. What an honor to be sponsored by such a legend in as far as the manufacturing.
USA.
Yeah. And they're not fucking sellouts either, So it's really an honor to be sponsored by such a great company. And so with that, thank you. Like I said, share, talk about, share, subscribe, leave a review, tell your friends, family, coworkers, your aunts, uncles, cousins about us, get them to subscribe. And so we can help you go make money.
Yeah, guys. Same thing Kelly just said. Yellow Jacket, man, they are legendary. To be associated with them means the world to me. That's one of the first brands that I remember from when I first got into this trade, and they have just been awesome. And guys, first and foremost, I want you to know is me and Kelly are not going to associate with companies that we do not believe in. If we don't support that company 100%, we'll have less sponsors than some other guys. That's fine. Whatever. We'll be all right. There's some more sponsors that are going to be coming that we're in the process of, brokering deals and talking to different companies and stuff like that now. But just know that. And when I give reviews on products, I'm going to tell you the good and the bad, whether it's a sponsorship or not. And I made that very clear to when we talk to these sponsors that, and if they give me a product and it's shit, then I just won't say anything. I'll just send it back to them and be like, It's probably better off that I don't say anything. But if somebody in the group says, hey, I want to get this blah, 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 should I do it? I'm going to say no, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know that you guys are out there spending your hard-earned money. You're not getting it for free like we're getting it. So trust me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion every time. I promise you. Real fast before we close out, as always, I thank you guys. We're still in the process of redoing the website. The merchandise is coming soon. That is really taken off. I have guys hitting me up like a lot. Like, people want merchandise, Kelly. So we need to get this figured out and be all finished, because I have a lot of guys. I'm actually very, very surprised. So yeah, I thank you guys, man. We love you guys, and thank you for your support, man. This has just been awesome. Like me and Kelly always say, not to be all reminiscent and homo, but I never thought this podcast would grow into what it is. It really is. It's awesome to be with Kelly, how our friendship has grown over this past year, how we've grown together into this podcast. When you listen to the beginning episodes and now, it just feels like we've been doing this forever. So thank you guys. We love you. Like I always say every week, guys, be safe out there. Always make it home the same way you left. And guys, be fucking rock stars, man. Do what the next guy's not doing. Put in the fucking work. And trust me, it's going to pay off. We want you guys to be the best versions of you. And if we can help you do that, then that's what the fuck we're going to do. All right. So we love you guys. Peace out, Uncensored Nation. We'll talk with you motherfuckers next week, man. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Boom.
Boom.
Record button. You know what? I think we should end the call. Well, maybe if we record a little earlier, but I say next week at the end of this video, so the viewers can see it, we need to prank call one of our buddies on air and just see how it goes. We know that they're probably going to use foul language, but maybe I'm just gonna maybe block the number.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you were at my house today and you fixed my air conditioning and it's hot as shit in here now. This is bullshit. Like, I just paid you guys $1,000 and now I'm sweating and I got sweat down my breastises and
what we need to do is just pick somebody out of the group who owns a business, go to their business page, pick their number, and then call them,
and we'll do it live on air.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be in live. If it's not a buddy, that might not be cool.
Yeah. Well, it won't be live because it'll be like this, and people can't see this until I put it out. So if it goes horribly bad, we'll just cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but all right, we're gonna end this video, man. Kelly, thank you, brother, as always, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we love you guys, man. We appreciate it. We hope you guys are liking this video stuff. We're going to get better as it goes. Like I said, Google Hangouts is supposed to be going away, so we'll figure another way to get this video out. And I do promise you that I am shooting videos. I swear on anything.
Corrupt videos.
Yes, it said it was corrupted. And on the GoPro that I was using, because I didn't have my camera, because I've been putting back on the thing on my head because it's so easy. It's supposed to have a cloud now for GoPro where you can just save it in the cloud so you don't got to worry about using it. But when I went to the cloud, it said no media yet. And then when I went to the actual SD card, it didn't say corrupted files, but it said something along that basis. And I'm like, what the hell? I should have like 3 or 4 videos on here. So if I have to this weekend, I'm going to get a couple of videos, and by Monday, I will put something out. I promise. And I will also make a video when me and Kelly talk about the giveaway to give back to you guys and say thank you for all the stuff you've done for us. So, all right, man. You guys have a good, well, I guess it's will be Monday morning. You guys have a good Monday and
fucking kick-ass killer Monday and a good week.
Yeah. Go out there and make some money. Yeah.
Go make money.
Yeah, you gotta wash your truck. All right, we gotta go, people. Peace. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.